Working on a creative project is difficult, especially as the project gets larger. You can find yourself swamped in all of your project files, images, and audio clips as you try to navigate just to find that one image you thought you'd seen somewhere on your desktop. No, your organizational skills aren't to blame. It really is just that difficult to keep that overflowing hard drive under control. That's where Adobe Bridge comes into play. Adobe Bridge is a powerful creative asset manager that lets you preview, organize, edit, and publish multiple creative assets quickly and easily. Edit metadata, add keywords, labels, and ratings to assets, and organize your assets using collections. It's basically like your own computer's Finder or Windows Explorer, but 1,000 times better and actually useful. Adobe Bridge is the bee's knees of asset management, and today I'm going to show you the basics as well as using tags, labels, and keywords, batch renaming, using the advanced search functionality, and using collections to group your photos. Let's start with the basics. The first thing we are going to look at is the layout of Adobe Bridge. First things first, at the very top you have your toolbar. File, Edit, View, Stacks, Label, Tools, Window, and Help. File helps you control all the different options that you have with your system. Edit can control any of the undo and redo tools, capture settings, and color settings. Your View changes anything to do with the layout of your Adobe Bridge. Stacks is its own feature. Label is to do with the controlling of colors and priority labels. Tools gives you access to the individual tools that Adobe Bridge offers. And Window controls the different panels that are open at one time. On the left side of the Adobe Bridge workspace, this is your file manager. You have your favorites, where you can look at your libraries and different folders that are open at one time. Your folders get to look at the whole computer and all of your options. This middle one is the content viewing window. This is where the current files are in the folder you have selected. So for example, at this address here, just like your Finder, all of these photos are located. At the top here lets you choose what viewing workspace you have selected. Right now I have the Essentials workspace selected, and this is what we'll be looking at for the duration of this video. The Libraries workspace includes all of the different Adobe libraries that they offer, where you can copy and paste material and assets. Film Strip allows you to view content. Output allows you to arrange content into print-friendly canvases. Metadata allows you to look at the different types of metadata included in the images. And Keywords allows you to sort images by keywords and options. Just below the toolbar are all our actions. We can go back in the path. We can go to any of the parent folders. We can have a look at the recent files. This boomerang icon will take us to Adobe Photoshop. Get photos from camera will allow you to import photos from your SD cards from your cameras. The refine option will allow you to review and batch rename files. Camera Raw is Adobe's camera editing app and will allow you to open and encode images. And this is the rotation buttons, which allow you to rotate an image left or right. On the right side of the Adobe Bridge frame, you have the preview feature, which allows you to view the image that you've selected. This is also connected to the publish feature, which allows you to directly publish your files to Adobe Stock Contributor and Adobe Portfolio, which are two of Adobe's other apps that cooperate with Adobe Bridge. Down the bottom here we have metadata. This contains stuff like the details of the camera that the file was taken on, and the dimension of the photos, the color modes, and the file type. It also gives you a summary of the key details of the photo. The Keywords tab allows you to assign keywords to events, to files. So you could have a keyword which is, for example, photos of the forest, and tag this photo in it. On the right hand side, we have the keywords tab. This allows you to assign user-made keywords to different photos. So for example, we have here a photo of the forest. So we could assign this the forest keyword. And down here, we also have a photo of a forest, and we could assign this the forest keyword. Down the bottom left-hand corner, we have our export tab, which allows us to bulk export different types of images and convert them. This is more useful for raw camera file types. Collections, which allows you to make basically albums of photos. And filter, which allows you to filter photos by keyword, orientation, aspect ratio, and camera raw. Down the bottom here, we have our different file content viewer options, which basically adjust the way we see content in this window here. You can change the size of the icons, whether the icons are matched to a grid, whether we're viewing them as details which have summaries about the files, or whether we're viewing them as lists. We can also select whether they are actually tiles, just the thumbnails without the file names, and have control for albums. Folders. Folders are a key part on understanding how Adobe Bridge works. It's basically like your file explorer. If you ever want to add a folder to Adobe Bridge, you can either locate it on the side panel here by going through your hard drive, or you can find the folder that you want to go to inside of your Windows Explorer or Finder and copy the address. You can then paste the address up here in Adobe Bridge's address bar. So bring you straight to it. To save and bookmark a folder for later use, you can right-click on the folder and then click Add to Favorites. Then, when you go to the Favorites tab at the top left, you'll be able to click on that link to go there straight away. Navigating through folders is also really simple with Adobe Bridge. You can double-click a folder to open it up, and then you can click this back button to go back. And then if you want to go back into the folder you just came from, you can click the Go Forward button. You can also click any of these folders along the breadcrumb trail. If I want to go back to my Pictures folder, I can click on it and it'll take me there. Advanced File Selection is an easy way to navigate the workspace, as well as select files that you want to use for manipulation. Using the Control button on a Windows machine, you can hold and select multiple files at once. To select a file in a line, you can select the first file, hold Shift and select the last file. This also works for extending the length of a line, like so. To select all files in a directory, hold Ctrl and A. And to deselect all files in a directory, hold Ctrl, Shift and A. Since Adobe Bridge is meant for large amounts of photo and file storage, there is a review feature. If you go into the folder of photos you want to review, for example stock photos, and then go up to the top left here and click on Refine, Review, this will open a mode which allows you to click left and right to be able to preview the images. This will select all of the images in the folder. If you want to directly add an image to a collection, you can click this button. If you want to remove the image from your selection, you can also click this down button here, which will drop the photo out. I can also use this image to zoom in and magnify certain parts of the image. When I exit review mode, I can see that only the ones that I didn't drop out are selected, and I can move these around as I wish. The first process we will cover today is the process of tagging, also known as reviewing or rating. At the very top here in the workspace selection bar, select Film Strip. This allows you to view images in a nice big preview box. You can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to go through the images slowly. The process of rating images is by giving them a star count from 1 to 5 to allow you to later organize them on the photos you like the most and the photos you like the least. So if I want to give this photo here a rating of 3 stars, I can click 3. This will give up here this image a rating of 3 stars, and it'll later allow me to sort it. I can also do this by clicking on an image, going up to the top here, selecting Label, and choosing the rating that I want to give it. No rating, all of the ratings have a different assigned hotkey. No rating is Control 0 or Command 0 on a Mac system. 1 star is Control 1, 2 star is Control 2, and 3 star is Control 3, and so on. So upon the process of review, I can click on the image I want. If I want to give this image a 4-star rating, click Control 4. Then I can click the right arrow key to move over to the next image and rate this one. Say I want to remove a rating, I can hover over the image I want to remove it from and click Control 0, or I can click the little cross out button down the bottom here. This allows me to remove a rating quickly from an image. After I've finished rating all of my different photos, I can then come back to this screen here. Using the filter window on the far left, I can then sort my images by what I want to see. So if I want to see all of the 9 images that have a 4-star rating, I can check this box and it'll only show me these ones. If I want to see all of the images that have either a 4-star rating or a 5-star rating, I can click both. The filter system allows me to effectively view photos and decide which ones I want to use. If I want to show all of the photos again, I can click Clear Filter, or I can unselect my boxes. If I want to keep a filter pinned while I navigate through my menus, I can select only photos with a 5-star rating, for example, pin the filter, and then navigate through all my photos so it only shows me the photos that have a 5-star rating, which there are none in this subfolder. The next feature we'll be going over is the batch rename feature. The batch rename feature is basically used for renaming a whole bunch of files to a format that you'd like. If I look at my pictures in here in memes, I can see that all of these files are randomly named from their downloads. If I want to rename all of these files, I can use the batch rename feature. This especially works well for large folders with thousands of photos. To select all of these photos in this directory, we can use Control A or Command A on a Mac. Then I can come up here to the Refine button, open it up, and click Batch Rename. Or I can use the keybind Control Shift R or Command Shift R on a Mac. Highlight all of the photos and then hit Control Shift R. This will open up the batch rename window. I have the option here to choose from a bunch of different presets that I've loaded. You can save presets for later to be able to rename multiple folders with different files. Here's my destination folder. I can rename all of these files in the same folder which in the same folder, which just changes the name of the files in this directory here. I can move them to another folder in the process and then rename them, or I can copy these photos, leave these ones with the original name and put new ones in a different directory with different names. I'm going to rename this in the same folder. Down here is the formatting of the names. This is where you can set what you want the new files to be. This is the options pane, which allows you to preserve the current file name in the XMP metadata, which allows you to basically save a copy of the photo of the old name in the metadata. And the preview section shows what all of the new files will be called. Say I want to rename all of these photos to meme underscore and then iterate through the different sequences. I can do that by getting rid of all of this stuff here. Starting off with the text option, I can type meme. If I want to then have an underscore, I can put underscore, and see down the bottom it's showing us in real time what the files will be renamed to. Say I also wanted to include the date here. I can click on the drop down and then change the different date. If I want to change the date to, for example, the date created, I can click on this option here, which allows me to specify the date created. Or I can put today's date, yesterday's date, or the last time the file was modified. I'm going to put today's date. This is the format of the date. In Australia, we use date, date, month, month, year, year. So I'm going to use that one. See down the bottom here, we have already an updated version of what the new files will look like. The problem is that there's no special indicator each file has at the moment. It's just meme and then underscore the day. To add a sequence number, first we want to click add, click on text and go down to sequence number. 3 digits means that there'll be 3 digits that iterate through. 2 digits means that will be 2, and 1 means there will be 1, and so on. This is especially good for large amounts of files. I'm going to use 2 digits. See here how the date 070921 has now combined with the sequence number? We should add a separator. To do that, we can click the plus button here to add a new text field. Highlight it and click underscore. Now we have meme underscore the date underscore 01, which means it's the first file made from all the memes on this day. To preview all of the changes I'm going to make to the files in the directory, I can click the preview button. This shows here all of the new file names that will be created. Click OK and rename. Now all of the files in the folder will be renamed. 01, 02, 03, 04, and 05. Collections are another important feature of Adobe Bridge. If I look at all of the photos I took today, I can see that there are some plants, some of my dog, Liberty, and some of my bird, Mia. If I wanted to take all of the photos in this collection, in this folder here, and add them to a collection, or sometimes known as an album, I can do that. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the collections window. If we navigate to the collections window and click new collection, I can then rename it to something I want to call it. I'm going to call it Libby after my dog. If I navigate back to where I was, and instead of today, I can now select all of these images. To add all these photos into a collection, after I've selected them, I can drag them to the collection I want to add them to. For example, Libby. Now, when I click on this collection, all of these photos of my dog will be there. Keywords are similar to collections, and you can use them to group photos. On the right panel here, I can see that there are metadata and keywords. Click on the Keywords tab. I can then assign different keywords to different files. Clicking the plus button allows me to create a new keyword. If I say wanted to have a keyword with all of the photos that have blue in them, I could add the color keyword, and then click on it again and add a sub keyword, which is blue. I can then use this keyword and assign it to whatever photos I wish to. To add a keyword to an image, I can click on the image I want to add it to. So say for example, I was using all of the blue images in this category. Click on the image I want to add it to, and then click on the keyword to add it. This file here will now have keywords stored in the attributes. I can also do this with other images. So if I click on all of the blue images, then I can assign them blue. Or I could use Control and individually select the photos that are blue. Then I can click on the blue keyword to assign it to all of them. If I want to see all of my photos assigned with the keyword blue, I can go down to the filter section, scroll to keywords and select blue. And this will show all of the photos with the blue attribute. I can also do this for multiple keywords. We can create the orientation group and then add the portrait attribute as well as the landscape attribute. Now I can select all of the images that are landscape, for example this one, this one, this one, and this one, and give them the landscape tag. And then I can add all of the pictures that are portrait and give them the portrait tag. Now, when I search by keyword, I have more options. I can sort by landscape photos. I can sort by landscape and blue photos. Or I can sort by just portrait photos, depending on the amount of boxes I've clicked down here. Metadata is the parameters stored within the file's code. We can view this by going down to the bottom right and clicking on the Metadata tab. There are different parameters that we can view, and it depends on the camera that took the photo, and whether the image has been copied or stripped of its metadata. We can see that this photo here was taken by an iPhone 12. It also gives us the exposure, brightness level, focal length, whether the flash fired, the date that it was taken, and the white balance, as well as many different other parameters about the camera. On cameras that support it, you can also see your GPS parameters, which I have closed here. For video files, you can also see different audio and video parameters. And down the bottom here, you can add your own parameters. The metadata just gives a summary of the file and allows you to sort and view files based on their metadata. Adobe Bridge is a fantastic software for digital asset management. It works well with other of Adobe's softwares like Premiere and Photoshop. Really, the most effective part about Adobe Bridge is its photo management. Being able to change metadata and add to collections on the fly is really helpful in organizing large amounts of photos. Adobe Bridge isn't an overly large program, but there are some very niche features which I haven't explained. To find out more about Adobe Bridge on the fly, you can hover your cursor over different features, which will explain to you what they do in the tooltip. Or you can use the Help feature. Thank you for watching this video on Adobe Bridge. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and it allowed you to learn how to use this great photo management software.